everybody. Welcome to College of Lore. My name's Kate.
I'm Jill.
And hi, we're streaming again.
Here we are. Hello. We've missed you.
We have. Today we are going to talk about a little RPG that I purchased over the weekend called Mork Borg. That is not how it's actually pronounced, but that's the best I got. Yeah, we tried to do free RPG day this weekend. We did free RPG day this weekend, but this was what I came away with, and it was not free.
Yeah, I ended up buying Tales from the Loop, and we'll end up doing a video about that later.
Yes, absolutely. So we were at the Deck Box in Halifax, which was the only free RPG day location in Halifax this year, which I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Jill, but I can remember previous years where like 3 separate locations in Halifax had free RPG day stuff, and you could like do like a little tour around all of them. Anyways, so it's kind of too bad that it was that only that one location. But I hadn't been to the Deck Box in a while. Deck Box is a really great local game store. They focus, I think, a lot on, or in my mind, they focus a lot on Magic and other card games like Pokemon as well, and maybe Yu-Gi-Oh. But they had a pretty decent RPG collection. We spent a good half an hour browsing. I had never heard of this before. But I saw it sitting on a shelf right beside Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which I already have. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to get that. But what's this all about? And it looks very interesting. So I'll read the little brief description on the back to give you an idea.
And before you do that, I don't know if you care, but for some reason our videos are like flipped, so Mork Borg is showing up as like, backwards.
How would I change that?
I think I'm scared to even suggest it, but is it like right click flip horizontally?
Let me check.
Is that an option?
We could just be messing this whole thing up.
I know, I'm scared to say it, but I'm like, if we're trying to like show off the book and it's all mirrored.
Okay, transform. Flip horizontal?
Yeah.
I think it worked. Do you want me to flip
you?
Oh,
it worked! You did it! You did it!
Do you want me to flip you? Is it weird that only one of us is flipped?
I don't mind being flipped, but you are the important holder of the book. And as long as you're the right way, I am fine being.
You because my
okay, I will like to be flipped, please.
There we go. But now we're both flipped.
Oh, yay! Here we are! The correct direction.
So now you can see it.
Yeah. Mork Borg. It's not Crumb Grob.
Crumb Grob. It's true. That also sounds good, I think.
It does sound good, actually. That'll be our fan game that we make of Mork Borg.
Like a spin-off. Okay, so this is what I read. Okay, I looked at the cover and I thought, that looks pretty cool. And then I read this little excerpt, this little summary. This is a doom metal album of a game. A spiked flail to the face. Rules light, heavy everything else. I was like, yes, please. That sounds amazing because I think Jill and I both really do love rules light systems that are heavy roleplay, very thematic, and this seems exactly like that. So this is sort of like apocalyptic setting that's very unique. Should I start like flipping through it?
Yeah, and like the color of that book, just that yellow and those dark blacks with the little bit of red, so gripping.
And this is actually showing up quite a bit more washed out than it really is. Like it's almost neon yellow.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can tell that.
It's very vibrant, very saturated color.
Yeah. Inside cover, very well used with like reference material for the DM, which is great. And then the book starts out with like some setting description pages, but you can see that they've really, really focused on graphic design throughout the vast majority of this book. Every single page is super well thought out. What was written must be known.
Yeah, it's interesting because they I think pushed forward with this like heavy and that rock feel even more so than legibility.
Yeah,
in
and
some cases.
That is actually like if you're gonna make a complaint about this, and you'll probably see this as we go through and start trying to create characters in a minute, because it's beautiful, but sometimes it's a little bit hard to read. This is actually pretty simple. Let me see if I can find a good sample of something that's like a little bit more complex. Well, here's a really cool. So this is the equipment entry.
And to use a femur as a weapon, it is 1d4.
So they've chosen to have this whole page just for femur, and then most of the other weapons here.
That is so cool.
But then they've also got this little, you can't see it very well, but there's like this little faint dotted pink line kind of going from here all the way down to this unarmed hand. And then it's unarmed, D2 damage. That's not a weapon that you're rolling for in this case, but it's like kind of a side rule that you maybe would miss if you weren't looking at this image very carefully, right?
Right. It's almost like a little bit of a Where's Waldo?
Yeah. And then these are the rest of the weapons.
So does that mean like a flail is a D8?
No. Well, actually, it does say flail is a D8, but this
it actually is.
This 8 refers to, so when we're going to create characters, you're going to roll a D10 for your weapon, and that determines what weapon you get.
Cool. Okay.
Hi, Neil. D6 for a horse femur, D8 for an elephant. There you go. Yeah, and so it's very cool. So like I said, the first part of the book, the first few pages are setting. And so the idea is this is a land on the verge of extinction. There's baddies and scary things going on all over the place here. Another big theme here is the basilisks. So there are these two-headed basilisks. One of them has been putting forth these sort of prophecies, like these apocalyptic prophecies that are all coming true. And so that's how everybody knows that the end is coming, right? Because this basilisk's prophecies are all coming true.
Nice.
Yeah. Ooh. It's kind of hard.
Is that blood?
That's a heart, an anatomical heart.
Oh my goodness.
But here's another example of like rules on the bottom. I don't know how easy that is for you to read.
Yeah, so 0 HP means you're broken, and negative HP means you're dead.
Yeah. But those are actual like game rules, right? So you need to like read every page. I like it, but I can see why somebody might be like not super happy about it. Right, this is just a list of... I'm so sorry. Now I'm all flipped, and I don't know which way I'm supposed to turn my book to make it go. I wasn't that great even before we flipped, to be honest. So this is just a list of different scrolls or, like, powers that you can get. But you can see, like, this would normally just be, like, a list in columns in a normal RPG. But it's all very stylized here.
Yeah, it seems like... For me, sometimes when I open an TTRPG book, I'm kind of like looking at these blocks of text and I don't even really want to read them. But this, it's like every page is an adventure.
This is one of the basilisks, the two-headed basilisk.
So cool.
Rules Like gives them the freedom to play with graphic design for sure. And I mean, I just think it's so unique. It's such a unique book. And I was talking to Neil about this as well, Jill. I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but I've been currently reading a lot about gamification and game-based learning for application in education. But, you know, I'm reading a lot of books about gamification, and it's just like, and it's like so the opposite of what gamification is meant to be, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, well, how else are you going to do it? It's a book.
This is how.
Yeah. It's a really great, like, creative example of how you can do some interesting stuff. And so, so some setting stuff at the beginning, and then character creation is by and large randomized. So you're rolling dice. We're going to go through this process. And anybody who's watching, I hope that you'll roll along with us. So you just
need what do we need dice-wise, Kate?
You'll probably need like a set of dice, because some things you're rolling, you're definitely going to need 2d6, a d12. It's probably just like a regular set of dice. Or you could go to Google, and Google has all of the dice. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. I always keep a set nearby. And this set I like paint it myself. I got like a dark set and like painted.
Oh yeah, I think you showed me this.
Yeah. Painted little things all over it.
Yeah.
I'll use those. I hope they treat me nice.
So so setting, character creation, and then there's a little adventure in the back as well. And interestingly, the adventure, here's the cover page for the adventure, which I think also looks amazing.
Absolutely beautiful. I like that there's a reflective page in there.
Yeah, it's like that upside down cross. And
Neil, I haven't clear coated my dice to protect the paint job yet. I'm going to. I'm considering adding orange or red or pink. I'm not sure. I'm not quite done with them yet. I'm letting them stew for a little while in my creative mind, and then once I'm happy with them, I will clear coat them.
Yeah. So yeah, the adventure isn't as, I mean, there's still like visuals in the adventure, but it's much more traditionally laid out. So
I was looking through a flip through of it because I don't have a copy of the book, and I was very impressed with the layout of the adventure. How it has like it seems like every encounter is on one, like its own page. They use bulleted lists, which is very easy for the GM to reference quickly, and also they have like a little map showing you exactly which room they're talking about in the top corner of every page, which is so cool. Because how many times have I been running an adventure and trying to flip back to the map, flick back to the, descriptions, and just trying to keep everything straight? Having all the information you need on one page is so good.
There's also little stuff here. Like, this is a description of this particular monster, and it tells you everything that you need to know about it right here in the adventure. I find that a lot of times in adventures that I've played, they refer to the monster manual or to like an appendix with the character or with the monsters or NPCs or whatever, and I have to figure out a way to have those visible to me at the same time. So this is really well done.
Neil says good decisions about when clarity is critical. Absolutely. And that's like exactly it. It's like when you have time as a GM to flip through the book and learn the rules, that's on your minute. But then when you're running the game, you need everything to be so clear and easy to read so that you're not slowing the like smashing pace of the game down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's very thematic, like just dripping with story and theme here. And it's supposed to be very, very brutal, as you can probably tell, but somebody at the game store at Deckbox referred to it as like Dark Souls the RPG. I've never played Dark Souls, but I hear that it's like hard. So I think this is supposed to be like that too. Like your character's not long for this world, right?
So you mentioned when we were when you were purchasing the book that you would consider maybe like rolling a few at a time. Does it say anything in the book about like would you roll 3 or 4 characters to sit down for a session, or would you kind of just play, your character dies while the story's kind of carrying on, you go to the side, roll up a new character right on the spot, and then jump back in?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't specifically talk to that. And I mean, as you can tell, there's not a whole lot of stuff like that in this book, right? Like, yeah, you know how a lot of RPGs these days are like, you know, you open it up and it's like, what is a role-playing game?
Yeah.
You might be playing as a player character, and one of your friends is going to need to be the game master. And the game, you know, like, and it's like, man, I just like skip that part now. That's important to have, though, in those RPGs, and I'm glad that they include that kind of stuff. That's not in here.
No.
Right?
It's not for... I wonder, what if this was a group's first RPG, do you think?
That would be very confusing for them.
Okay. Yeah.
/ impossible?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So it's for the well-versed.
Yeah, you would need to have somebody who knows what's happening here. And that would need to be the GM, I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, do you want to start rolling some characters? I'm going to roll one too.
I sure do. Got my tray over here.
So,
I guess I should have some paper,
I need to get my dice, which are here. Yeah, a piece of paper and a pencil should suffice for now. Let me get my little dice.
I've got some scrap paper here.
Okay, great. That should be fine.
Oh, I did a puzzle.
All right, so let me read some stuff. In this world, there are those who seek riches or redemption. Some say the apocalypse is escapable, that it might even be stopped. And there you walk in discord and despair. One hand holds 2d6 times 10 silver. So we can roll that.
2d10 times 6?
2d6 times 10 silver.
I wish. 2d6 times 10.
I have 50 silver.
Ooh! I got 10.
So you got 100.
Okay, thank you. I'm just another pretty face.
Yeah. Ooh, Neil got 70. Is anybody else? I can see we have a few viewers. If you're, I mean, you don't have to type it in the chat, but hopefully you're following along and rolling your 2d6 to write down how much silver you have. So one hand holds 2d6 times 10 silver. The other holds a water skin and d4 days worth of food. So D4. Ooh, yeah. 4 days worth of fur, baby.
Me too, me too.
So water skin. And then 4 days of food. How much food you got, Neil? Your soul and your silver are your own and equally easy to lose. To begin with, you are what you own. So, 4 days as well. When does the world end? Probably not in 4 days. We're good to go till the end of time.
Yeah.
A d6, please. All right, I rolled 4 on my d6. So I also have a sack, which can hold 10 normal-sized items. Sack.
Rolled a 5.
You rolled a 1. You have nothing. Jill Jill got a 5. You can have a small wagon or one item above of your choice. So the other options are a backpack for 7 normal-sized items, a sack for 10 normal-sized items, or you can have your small wagon.
I want the backpack for 7 small items?
Yeah, normal-sized items. All right, and then we're going to roll a d12.
Ooh, I love rolling d12s because they're so rarely used in my experience.
Ooh, I got a 3. I have a lantern with oil for presence plus 6 hours. We'll learn about what presence is later. lantern with oil for presence +6. What did you get, Jill?
I got a 4.
Oh. You have a magnesium strip.
Oh, good.
Also 3.
Someone tell me what a magnesium strip is for.
Is that... What's a magnesium
if anyone
strip
knows.
for? I'm sure Neil knows. He knows everything.
Neil, tell us what a magnesium strip is for.
What would you use a magnesium strip for? Google it, Jill.
Oh gosh, my typing is so loud.
I can Google it. Start a fire? That's what I was thinking. What is a magnesium strip? A light silvery
it's
white,
also
moderately hard metallic element that in ribbon or powder form burns with a brilliant white flame. Yeah, it must be for starting a fire.
I could also use it in flash photography.
Oh, well, there you go. You could start your photography.
Start a photography business.
There
you go. Yeah.
All right, one more D12. I got an 8 this time. I have a grappling hook. That'll be useful. I bet. Grappling hook.
I got a 1.
You got a 1. You have 30 feet of rope. No, sorry, that's the wrong... Wait. No, that's the wrong one. You do not have rope. I'm so sorry. You do have a life elixir. D4 doses of a life elixir. So what's your D4? This seems
2.
useful. 2? So you've got 2 doses of life elixir. That heals D6 hit points and removes infection. So when you want to use it, you'll roll the D6 to figure out how many hit points it heals. So yeah, you got a little healing potion. 2 little healing potions. That was another amazing. D12, Neil. Sorry. Another D12. Wait for you to get that.
With my photography business, just Neil says, document the apocalypse, exclusive collection.
Yes, exactly. Anybody else who wants to join in, just type your dice rolls in the chat. So far we've done mainly a D6 and 2 D12s. A 3. You have a small but vicious dog. So your small but vicious dog has D6 plus 2 hit points. Its bite does D4 damage, and it only obeys you.
Oh,
that's so
Neil,
cute.
You have to tell us what you name your small but vicious dog.
Yeah. If you roll a 4, you get D4 monkeys that ignore but love you. Oh, hi, Sweetie Meats.
Oh, the dog emoji. That's cute.
Yeah. Woof, woof. Maybe that's what you should name your dog, Smeety Meats.
Oh.
All right. The dog hasn't told me her name yet. Oh, interesting. So, scrolls are the twisted magic of Mork Borg. Read more on page 34. So when we get to page 34, I'll see what we get for scrolls. All right, randomize your starting equipment. Randomize your weapon and armor next. So we're going to roll a d10 for our weapon. I got an 8, which is a flail, which does d8 damage. Weapon.
I got 7.
You got 7?
Yeah.
You have a bow. It does d6 damage. And you have presence plus 10 arrows. So just write down presence plus 10 for now, because we haven't figured out what your presence is. But that'll be how many arrows you have. And Neil, 6 is a sword. It does d6 damage. Flail. A spiked flail to the face. Okay, we are doing armor. Only D2 if you begin with a scroll. I guess none of us... I guess you must have... Where are the scrolls? Oh, I see. Okay. So, we're gonna roll a D4 for our armor.
Wait, I don't want to use this D4. I want to use
a little more clarity in what part? I got 4. I am using heavy armor.
Oh, Neil, do you mean like if the book had a little bit more clarity about the scrolls? Oh, in this section of the book, yeah.
This is just, I think, part of how the book is. Like, they can't... They've chosen not to put this stuff in the book. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not holding our hands. I figured it out. So, Jill, you got 2. You're wearing light armor, so it's like fur, padded cloth, leather, something like that. It's minus D2 damage, and it is tier 1. You're going to want to write down tier 1. I've got heavy armor, so that's like splint or plate, and so it is minus D6 damage, and it's tier 3.
This is actually making a little bit of sense, because like I should be farther back because I have a bow, so why would my armor is lending itself better to
true.
like moving around and stuff than getting hit.
Absolutely. Neil, with a 3, you have medium armor, like scale or mail. That's minus D4 damage, and it is tier 2. Oh, and so for your medium armor, the difficulty rating on any agility tests that you do are going to be +2. So DR +2 is the abbreviation for that. Mine has the same DR, but it's +4.
Ooh.
So I'm a little bit encumbered by my heavy armor, and my defense is DR +2. So DR +4 for agility, and my defense is DR +2. So it's like a little bit harder to hit me, I guess. And so yeah, armor like soaks damage essentially. And it looks like for really heavy armor, it makes it harder to hit you as well. No, it's going to be, with heavy armor, it's, my defense is +2, so I think it's going to be harder to hit me as well.
Well, it'll be easier to hit your armor, but your armor won't let the damage hit you.
So my difficulty rating is +2.
Oh yeah, does mine change at all?
No.
Or did you give me all the information on light armor?
Yeah, I gave you. There's nothing. So for light armor, there's no agility modifier and there's no defense modifier. For medium armor, there is an agility modifier but no defense modifier. For heavy armor, there's both. Okay. You can also acquire a shield, by the way, which is just -1 damage, but it says you can choose to ignore all damage from one attack, but the shield breaks. So that's interesting.
Oh, cool.
Oh, scrolls will never work when wielding Zweihander weapons or medium heavy armor. Zweihander must be two-handed. Yeah. Cool. All right. And then there's a nice little table here with all kinds of different like items and equipment, services, like costs to repair armor, etc. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so our abilities in this game, we've got sort of 4 characteristics or stats, skills, I guess. Agility, presence, strength, and toughness. Agility is what you use to defend, balance, swim, flee. Presence is perceive, aim, charm, wield powers. So you might
Interesting.
You might be our caster, Jill. I think we'll get scrolls for you. Well, we'll see, because there's so much more left to do here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to roll... I didn't finish. So presence, perceive, aim, charm, willpower, strength, crush, lift, strike, grapple. And then toughness is resist poison, cold, heat, survive falling. That kind of thing.
Survive falling?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to use your toughness to figure that out. So, roll 3d6 and using the table on the right to generate each ability score. The sum is not used in the game once the character is created. So, I guess we just go through. So, let's do agility first. So, agility. And you could make modifications to this, I think. Like, in D&D, when you do this, like, stat generation, you roll the numbers and then you assign them as you wish. That is not explicitly stated here, so I don't think it's how it's supposed to go. But if you wanted to, you could. But I'm leaning into this, like, brutal nature of the game. And I'm saying, now we're rolling for our agility. And, like, even though, Jill, you might want... Oh, I guess you want a high presence for your bow. Anyway. So... My agility is a 10, which is a 0 modifier for my agility.
Mine's a 12.
You got a 12, that's also a 0. What did you get for your agility, Neil? Presence.
11.
Oh, well, that's a 0.
Big ol' zeros. Here we go. None of us are in the pluses, but none of us are in the minuses
9
either.
9 to 12 is 0. All right, 3 more d6, and we're gonna do presence. Oh, that's 4. So
this is presence?
Yeah.
You got a 4?
I got a -3 presence. That's not good.
I got a 13.
Okay, 13 is +1. And
God
Neil
diggity.
got a 7. That's -1 presence. So you are... This is working out, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Seems to be.
All
Seems to be.
Strength is next.
Strength?
Yeah. Strength. And then 3d6.
I'm rolling really well, you guys. I got a 13 again.
11. So I'm 0. And then you're +1. Neil, +1. All right, toughness.
Oh!
What'd you get?
I got a 16.
Okay, a 16 is +2. Okay, I got... Oh, that was a 3. So I got 12. Gosh, I suck. I got 3 zeros. I got 3 zeros and a -3. Neil got 14, which is still a +1. Yeah, so it's interesting. So 1 to 4 is -3. And then 5 and 6 is -2. 7 and 8 is -1. 9 to 12 is 0. 13 and 14 is +1. 15 and 16 is +2. 17 to 20 is +3. So you're like really... supposed to get 0, I guess.
Yeah, 0 seems to be the very most common thing.
Yeah. So these are the abilities that we're going to use to make tests, which is essentially, as far as I can tell, just like skill checks. So tests are made against a difficulty rating or a DR. To succeed, you roll a d20 plus your ability with a result or equal to or greater than the DR. That's a success. Creatures don't use abilities. They just roll a d20 against DR. Yeah. So there's difficulty ratings, right? Like 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and it gives you some guidance. Like 12 is normal, 14 is difficult, 16 is really hard, 18 should not be possible. No, that wasn't supposed to be a d20. That was supposed to be d6s that we're using to generate the stats, but skill tests are done by rolling a d20 and then adding that modifier that we just generated. So most of the time, I am going to just roll a d20 and add nothing to it, and then sometimes I'm going to subtract 3 from my roll. There's a carrying capacity that you have. It's going to be strength plus 8. So my carrying capacity is 8. And that's like the number of normal-sized items that you can carry without a problem. Yeah. And then you can carry heavier things or more than that at a slight disadvantage. All right, hit points is going to be toughness plus D8. Okay. So this is... Oh my god, I dropped my die. 2. What the heck?
Oh my god, Kate. I rolled a 6 and my toughness is +2, so I have 8 HP.
Okay, I have 2 because my toughness is 0 and I rolled a 2. Worst case is 1 hit point, but never less than that.
Neil got a 5.
Great. Cool. Yeah, and then it talks about violence and like how you do fighting. I don't think we need to go over that right now because we're not going to actually play. It talks about rest, reaction. So here's some like game rule stuff. It talks about how to heal. Oh, no, how to level up. Interesting. Okay, powers. Unclean scrolls. Okay, so we didn't get any scrolls, so we don't get to pick that. We're going to roll on this Basilisk's Demand table. It wants a D20, and I'm not entirely clear on what this table is. To me, it's sort of a thematic thing, something that the Basilisk wants of you. It might be something that you're only supposed to roll for, like, the party to, like, guide your mission or whatever, but I think it might be interesting for every character to have one of these. So let's see what happens. I'm going to roll a d20. Everybody who's doing this can roll a d20. I got 16. So the Basilisk demands from me moss upon which a dying man has slept.
We could, like, sneak into, like, I don't know, like, hospital beds areas and, like, stick moss under there.
Yeah. Neil got
I got a 10.
Oh, okay. From Jill's character, the Basilisk demands rare anti-obsidian from the Eurylian crypts.
Anti-obsidian?
Anti-obsidian from the Eurylian crypts. Well, that's a pretty clear quest. And Neil got 8. A troll's heart valves. Not the whole heart, just the valves. Don't need the rest of it. Do whatever you want with the rest of the heart. I just want the valves, please.
Well, you know what? In these crypts, I wonder if...
There's trolls?
Well, the moss, too.
Maybe there's moss and trolls all in one crypt.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could find a crypt that matches that description. All right. There's a page about omens. Okay. So omens are an optional rule, and we'll figure out... We're going to do classes, so we'll figure out how many omens we start with. But omens are sort of like an ability that you can use. They regenerate... absolutely. They regenerate at the beginning of the day, I think. After you rest for 6 hours, you can regenerate some. But you can use them to do things like deal maximum damage with one attack or re-roll a die roll. Anyway, so we'll... I don't know how many omens we have yet. That will be figured out in a minute. Okay, so these are all optional, but I think we should do them because they're fun. So now...
Well, also, I like that there's only, like, 3 or 4 rules overall, and then 2 of them are optional.
Yeah, it's like you can not use this if you don't want to.
Yeah.
All right, so trauma, a bad childhood, hidden history, or a twisted fate attending your birth already shaped you. So terrible traits. We're supposed to roll twice, a d20, 2 times. So I have a loud mouth. Hold on. Traits. Loud mouth. Somebody who carries a spiked flail definitely has a loud mouth. And then I also have 12. Cowardly. That makes sense. I only have 2 hit points, you guys.
I know, that's what I was thinking. It's like you come in, you're like, hey, you suck. And then it's like, rah, and then you're like,
I like run behind your character, Jill.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to do Neil because he's got both of his there. So.
Okay, I got a 2 and a 6. There, now mine are there.
Okay, 4 is loudmouth as well. And then 19 is wasteful. And you said 2 and 6, Jill?
Mm-hmm.
You have an inferiority complex.
Yes.
But you're also egocentric.
Oh my god, it's looking into my soul.
Oh, that's so funny.
How do I do that? How do I play that?
You're like one of those people who's like overcompensating all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like... Yeah. So it would be like... I think I suck, but when I find it, I actually suck.
You don't think you suck. You have an inferiority complex, i.e. someone else, you're worried about other people being better than you, which is why, it works with being egocentric.
Okay,
right?
So like I don't like that other people are better than me. So
Neil says like a certain former president. It's a good example. All right, and we also have somewhat broken bodies. So roll a d20 to figure out what is wrong with you. Oops. Oh, I got a 20. Ooh,
I got a 19.
My nails are cracked and black, maybe about to drop off.
Ooh. Uh-oh, Neil got a 1. I got a 19.
Okay, cracked, black. Sorry, I'm trying to like write my stuff down too. 19. Ew.
Oh no!
Okay, recently slashed and stinking eye covered with a patch. So you've got like a festering wound on one of your eyes.
Okay, recently slashed. Okay.
And stinking eye. It's just gross. For 1, you have a staring manic gaze.
The 1 is like better than ours.
Yeah. Okay. And now we have a bad habit.
Are you trying to say you're better than me? I hate that.
It's another d20 for our bad habits.
Ooh, jeez.
Mine's a 4.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. So I'm a gambling addict. I must bet every day. If I lose, raise and bet again. Oh my gosh.
And you're also a loudmouth coward? Like,
yeah, this is bad.
That's dangerous because, like, you're gambling, but you're also, like,
Yeah.
getting up in their face, but when they...
What did you get?
I rolled a 1.
Okay. You obsessively collect small, sharp stones.
Just obsessivissively collect small, sharp stones?
That's it. Neil got a 9. This is hilarious. Neil, you laugh hysterically at your own jokes, which you then explain in detail.
That's a good one.
Oh, I love it. One of them.
Oh, Neil gotta go.
Why
Neil had to go.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's it for those. Okay, so
those were good. I like that.
Yeah, they were really fun. Oh, it's because
Neil says it's funny because it's true.
That's not why I was laughing. I just think
no,
that's
I don't think that's true. I don't think you've ever explained a joke that you made to me
or laughed hysterically.
No,
like you might
never.
chuckle, and I do that too. Actually, I laugh at my own jokes all the time.
Yeah,
I'll tell a joke literally to myself, and nobody else is here, and I'll laugh.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, that was maybe a bit too much, but TMI.
Want to like reassure? It's like, no, Neil, no.
Don't worry, I'm way weirder than you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing is troubling tales. It says, the whole group can share the same backstory, or groups within the group can share a tale, or the GM can quickly give history to a seemingly mundane character. It wants you to roll a d20 or throw a knife at the page to the right to determine this. So I think we should, just because I'm having fun reading these, I think we should each choose one of these two.
Okay.
So it's a d20, because I'm not going to throw a knife at the book. I'm sorry. 8. I am banished and disowned for unspecified deeds. I can never go home.
Oh.
Tail.
I can specify those deeds. You gambled too much.
Yeah, and I was a jerk about it, too.
Yeah. I got a 6.
A 6. You are an escaped cult member. Terrified and paranoid. Other cultists are everywhere. Cool. Cool. All right. There's a thing about arcane catastrophes that we don't need to do right now. Okay. So there's another optional rule, which is classes. There are 6 classes, and it gives you... So, I mean, this could be it. This could be our characters. But I would love to roll some classes. What?
Classes are optional in this game?
Yeah.
That is so good.
Well, it's like, you make it as complex as you want, right? But I was reading through these, and I think that they're fun. So, like, we don't need to write all of this down, because this would be a lot of stuff for you to write down. But we'll determine what our classes are, and I'll read through those ones that we roll.
Okay.
So it's a D6, because there are 6 classes.
Perfect. I got a 6.
Okay, I got a 3. So let's start with 3, because that will come first in the book.
Yep.
All right. So I am an esoteric hermit. This because I'm like, I guess, anyway. The stone of your cave is one with the stars, silence and perfection. Now the chaos of a fallen world disturbs your rituals, and the call of night grows blacker than your cavern's gloom. Irritating. So... Yeah, so there's a modification to silver here. I get 1d6 times 10 silver. I get d4 omens, and my hit point is toughness plus d4. So that stuff varies from what we rolled before.
Would we have to change it, or are you adding that to your toughness?
I think you change it.
Oh, no, so like...
It doesn't say add this, it says...
Oh, so you might get a better hit point then. Because you only had 2. You might be able to get up to 4 now.
Yeah. Hi, Preston. Disturbs your rituals. Rituals like compulsive gambling and cowardice. Exactly. That I'm, like, doing with myself alone in a cave, apparently. It's all like a hallucination. Maybe I've, like, kicked myself out of my cave.
Oh, like, you gambled yourself away. Like, ugh.
Okay, so I also have an Eldritch Origin, which I need to roll a d6 for.
Ooh.
So, I was raised on a lonely island in Lake Onda. No one else has ever heard of this island, and you can't return. Makes sense. I already knew I could.
Yeah, did it say you could return home earlier too?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's matching up.
Yes, for sure. Okay. So... It says abilities. Wise, roll 3d6 plus 2 for presence. Weak, roll 3d6 minus 2 for strength. Oh, okay. So it's modifying my presence and my strength. So I would have to like change my presence and my strength. So I get to have a boost on presence and a detriment on strength.
Which is the stat you had the
presence. My
it is strength.
My -3
is the strength. So it might be better actually in the end. Who knows?
And then it says ordinary starting equipment plus 1 random scroll, sacred or unclean. But okay, roll a d4 on the weapons table and a d2. So this is like completely changing our whole character creation. So I guess you would roll classes instead of doing all the other stuff.
That makes sense.
But yeah, see, this is another example because, like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to start rolling my character. And then we get to these classes, and it never says anything about don't do any of this if you're rolling classes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Never mind, it does. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so then I have abilities. So one of them is Master of Fate. What use are maps when the substance of causality itself is open to you? You know the right way with a DR8 presence test. A Book of Boiling Blood. You may open and read from this book once a day. Your enemy must make a DR12 test to prevent this. If they fail, D2 Berserker Slayers, which is like a minion or something, appear from the depths of a forgotten dimension of blood. Roll a d6. On a 1 to 4, these creatures fight alongside you. On a 5 or 6, they turn on you, attempting to kill you and destroy the book. After the battle, they return to their imprisonment. Speaker of Truths. Twice per day, use your wisdom, knowledge, advice, and inner calm to bring clarity to a creature of your choice. The DR for the next test they undertake is lowered by 4. Initiate of the Invisible College. Once per day, you may summon D2 scrolls, whose power can be used only once. Roll a d4. On a 1 to 2, the scrolls are sacred. On a 3 to 4, they're unclean. Just different types of scrolls. If the scrolls are not used before sunrise, they turn to ash. Bard of the Undying.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of talk about scrolls while we were kind of rolling the character, so it's interesting seeing them kind of, like if we were doing classes, they would for sure be more relevant.
Well, in this class, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also Bard of the Undying. You learnt your melodies in the other world. The music of your harp gives you plus d4 on reaction rolls. And then I have Hawk as weapon. Your crafty, almost intelligent hawk is loyal only to you, even without shared language. You understand its cries as it keeps watch. Scouts and swoops to attack foes. Interesting.
This sounds like such a fun game.
Yeah. And you said you got 6?
Yes.
Okay. You are an occult herb master. Again, this is, this would be replacing the stuff that we did before. But 6 is Occult Herb Master. Well, I'll show you the pictures. Here's Occult Herb Master. Try to make it so that
interesting.
I'll show you the picture for, what was it?
Esoteric Hermit.
There we go.
Cute.
Okay.
In the cave and everything.
Yes. Alright, so... Born of the mushroom, raised in the glade, watched by the eye of the moon in a silver-black pool. You'd begin with 2d6 times 10 silver, d2 omens. Your HP would be your toughness plus d6. Abilities. Tough as wood. Roll 3d6 plus 2 toughness. In low in protein, roll... Okay, so this is... Yeah. So you are tough as wood. Your toughness is 3d6 plus 2. I got tripped up on this on the other one too. Just one sec.
Preston says, Eye of the Moon sounds like a cult to me. Yeah,
Absolutely.
It does. Fits well.
All right. So your toughness would be 3d6 plus 2, but you're low in protein. So your strength is 3d6 minus 2. You roll d6 on the weapons table and d2 on the armor table. You carry a portable laboratory and continuously search for frequently expended ingredients. Daily, you have the materials to create 2 randomly determined decoctions and can brew a total of d4 doses. If unused, they lose vitality after 24 hours. And then And then there's a list of things that you can make, it looks like. So red poison, which... is minus d10 hit points. It says toughness dr12, so the person that you're using it on has to make a dr12 toughness check, or they lose 10 hit points.
That's a lot of hit points.
It is, considering that I had 2.
You had 2 hit points
in my first iteration here. You have Azumiel's Vapor. Pass a DR14 test or severe and arguably fun hallucinations for D4 hours.
Strunk, yes, says Preston. Yeah.
Southern Frog Stew. Vomit for D4 hours, pass a DR14 test, or you can do nothing else. So it sounds like regardless, you're vomiting for D4 hours, but maybe you can be doing something else while you're vomiting.
Except eating.
That's right. Well, you could. I mean, anyway. Elixir Vitalis heals D6 hit points and stops infection. Can be habit forming. Spider Owl Soup. See in darkness, climb on walls for 30 minutes. Cool. It's like a.
That is cool.
That's really cool. Ferner's Filter Translucent Oil must be dabbed right into the eye, heals infection, and gives +2 on presence tests for D4 hours. Interesting.
Like a contact lens.
Yeah, but it's oil.
Yeah.
Hyphus's Enervating Snuff. Berserk. 2 attacks per round, but defend with DR14, lasts 1 fight. Must be snorted, causes sneezing. Interesting.
These are so fun. Yeah. I think if we were to play, or like when we play, I think I would rather roll and get a class. Like just judging
absolutely.
by.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is much more fun. Because it gives you a lot to go with. Like there's some backstory. Anyway, the last one is Black Poison. So you do toughness DR14 or -6 hit points and blinded for 1 hour. And then your background is a D8 roll, if you want to do a D8.
I got a 6.
You were probably raised in the old frozen ruins not far from Allianz, which is a place. Yeah! And then I guess that would be our character. So then after that, there's sort of a little bestiary, which is, again, like... really.
Oh, I love when they get that pink in there. Oh, really, and the red.
Cool. Oh boy.
Whoa. It's a big one.
This one's creepy as heck.
Ooh.
Lady Porcelain Undead Doll.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's the
adventure.
And then again, the back cover has rules reference. So this is sort of like your DM screen, the front and the back covers. Oh,
yeah. I think having the front and back covers with all the rules really well written like that kind of makes up for the wildly exciting way that they're written in the book.
Yeah, I don't mind having to like look around and think about it when I'm creating a character because that's not interrupting game time, in my opinion. Yeah. So I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. I haven't read through the adventure yet, but I would, if you wanted to play it at some point, I would.
I definitely want to play it.
Yeah.
100%. I'm really excited. I definitely feel like we're going to have to put like a disclaimer when we play because there was a lot of things, and actually even through that character creation, something came up that in another game was a line. Like someone didn't want it in the game. Yes. So I think it is a very intense game, and which I really like because if people know what they're getting into and this is kind of set up front, like this is what the game is, of course you can still do lines and veils and kind of figure out what the, like, where people's limits are. Right. But knowing up front that it's going to be a gross and hardcore and violent game.
Yes. Don't sign up if that's not, like... Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like if you're gonna say,
of course, like you said, if we didn't want that, like eye thing, is that what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Then we could just say, okay, well, re-roll or whatever, right?
True. Yeah. So I'm really, I actually really like the character we came up with while generating, and I liked the class character as well. So. Yeah. I think when we do play, I would like to do the random class and then kind of go that route. Mm-hmm. But even just the other set of rules was still really fun and interesting.
Yeah, I probably would do a little bit of a combination because, like, it doesn't, in the class section, it doesn't give you those items. Like, you remember the D6 and the 2 D12s that we rolled to get, like, the grappling hook and the lantern and stuff, so maybe I would still do...
Yes, I agree, yeah, that'd be
things. Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad you got that book. honestly, I kind of want to pick it up myself just for the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
And like how gorgeous it is. Like, look at that. It is
beautiful
so
book.
beautiful.
I just love how small it is. Like,
yeah.
I love the RPGs that I have that have larger books as well. But something that I do find a little bit irritating when I'm playing a game is when we forget a rule and somebody has to go friggin' look it up in the book or Google it or whatever. That's not going to be a problem in a game system like this. It's similar in Kids on Bikes and other just sort of like compact rules-like games where you're not like fiddling around looking for the technical rule. It's much more free and like there aren't as many rules, so it's a lot more creative and you don't have to carry this giant book around. Like but it still feels just like super drenched in like atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right?
It adds a lot to the game, I think. Like, while you're reading it, you're not just reading the rules, but you're absorbing the mood and like you said, the atmosphere and the feel that they're going for.
Yeah, it's very
like
unique.
The package is part of the product, you know? It's part of the game as you're reading it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying this out and seeing how it actually plays, because that's something that I worry about with rules-light systems is like, how is it going to feel? Is it going to feel aimless or confusing, or is this enough rules, right? Because I feel like that's the balance, right?
Yeah. And I think another thing too is that we mentioned earlier that it seems like a game that would be better for more experienced like in a more experienced group of TTRPGers, and at least the GM would need to know what's going on. Yeah. So that might kind of factor in a little bit. Like if this was people's first toe into a tabletop role-playing game, would it work, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I would be surprised if there wasn't issues.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super interested to give that a shot. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. And I think it lends itself excellent to a one-shot environment as well.
It really
I'm curious about how it would do if you wanted to do a longer series, but like a one-shot, it seems like so perfect for a one-shot.
It seems like that's what's intended.
Yeah, because you can sit down and you roll your character. Like it took us less than an hour to roll 3 people's characters, because we rolled yours and we almost could have did it twice because we started going into the classes.
Right, and we are slow because this is our first time doing it. To me, it seems like it could take less than a minute to roll your character.
Yeah.
The longest part was writing it on the paper.
It was, yeah.
Now, here's another thing. That's different from other RPGs that you would have to kind of be okay with, and that is that this is random. Yeah. It's not intended for you to make choices. Now, again, like you could go against that and just choose the class that you want, for example. And, you know, I mentioned when we were rolling for abilities that you could roll and then decide. But it's to me, that does not feel like what's intended. This is meant to feel completely random and brutal.
And chaotic.
And so I don't think that it is like... It is not intended to be that way. So, like, if you're not into that, A, you might be able to tweak this so that it's not like that. But B, I don't know if that's really intended. So it just might not be like the game for you if that's what you're leaning towards.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. I also like the thought of kind of like just having a handful of dice. It's like pick up, 8d6s and 3d20s and the d10, the d20, the 12s, and just kind of have the whole batch of what you need in your hands, shake it up, drop it, and then just kind of arrange it and then go in order, and you've rolled your character with one
big roll.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that would be really fun. It's like if you know what the pool you need is, you know?
Yeah, that might be interesting to try. Then you can tailor it to some degree. Again.
Oh, that's true.
Probably what's not intended, but maybe more fun, question mark?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was just picturing, like, the list you need, shake it up, just stick them in order, and then see what they all are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Cool. We can try it sometime.
I'm excited to try this game.
Me too.
I mean, I feel like we already just tried some of it, Like, character creation is a huge part of any role-playing game.
Yep.
I mean, some more than others, but this one seems like that was a really fun experience to have.
I want to read you the description of the first class because it keeps just, like, coming into my head.
Okay.
So it's called the Fanged Deserter. Fanged Deserter. You have 30 or so friends who never let you down. Your teeth. Disloyal, deranged, or simply uncontrollable, any group that didn't boot you out left you anyway. But your parliament of teeth, enormous, protruding, thick, and sharp, have always been your allies. And you get a bite attack.
That's so good. That is so good. I'm definitely rolling for a class because we've kind of gone a little bit over 3 total. They were all very good.
Yeah, I love that one.
That's so funny.
Yeah, 30 friends.
Oh,
your teeth. That's
I was like, oh, this sounds nice. And then it was teeth. And it's like, oh.
What? Yeah, something else that I'm really liking about this is that it's sort of like dark / demonic, but it is also unique, right? Like, there's never... I mean, I think that there was reference to basically a zombie, but, and, like, skeleton, but really, like, that class evokes vampire, but I don't think it's not, like, literally vampire. And then the whole lore behind the 2-headed basilisks, right? Like, I know what a basilisk is, and maybe it being 2-headed isn't that weird, but it just still feels really unique to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
And, like, I've never heard of an occult herb master before.
Right. Yeah.
Like, an esoteric hermit.
Yeah.
They're so interesting.
Yeah. It's twisted. It's twisted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's twisted. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Very, very
I'm looking forward to it. And it does have that kind of old school feel where you're kind of like, you're just rolling this character. You have to put the stats wherever they fall. Yeah. And then you're in that meat grinder, You don't know what's going to happen to you, and don't get too attached to who you've created.
Absolutely. There's also these adventure spark things, like... Yeah, reasons, like random tables that you can roll on. So a D100 Adventure Spark table, or reasons to risk one's life. Where do you wander? Who or what contacts you? And you just roll.
I'm interested in did you say a D100 Adventure Spark table?
Yeah, why don't you roll a D100?
Yeah, please. 67.
So close to 66. Go to the land of the dead and back.
Ooh.
So that's
that's really interesting.
Yeah. Want to do another one?
Yeah. Oh, I like that. 16. I have rolled so many 6s today.
That makes sense. The Count goes insane at night.
The Count goes insane at night?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, these are really good adventure sparks. I like that. Huh. Well, I'm impressed.
Me too.
Yeah. That was a good impulse purchase, I think.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, we were down there and wanted to...
You were working through some heartbreak?
I wanted to, yeah. So, well, I'll talk about that a little bit, maybe. There was a specific free RPG Day adventure that I wanted to grab, and it was the Twilight Imperium Genesis adventure, Ashes of Power, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've been looking forward to it for a really long time because I'm obsessed with Twilight Imperium. And one of the main reasons that we got into Genesis, or that I got into Genesis, is because it specifically had like this section in the book about space opera and talked about Twilight Imperium. And this adventure is the first of some official Twilight Imperium content that they're going to be releasing. They've announced like a rule book and a follow-up adventure to this as well. So I really wanted the adventure, and I wanted my little grubby hands on the physical copy of it. And we got there, and there was all kinds of free RPG Day RPGs.
Leftovers.
But not the one that I wanted. You know, I just, Anyways, I found the PDF, and they are, so people have like scanned the PDF, like low quality scanned it. It's online. And they're going to be releasing like high quality PDFs of it in about a month. So I still have it. I have access to it, and I will still run it probably on this channel soon, within a month or two, depending on our little schedule, our revised streaming schedule.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and I mean, I looked at the other adventures that they had. There wasn't really anything that I thought I would ever play. Like, there's a Pathfinder and a Starfinder, and I'm sure that they're great, but I don't play Pathfinder or Starfinder, and I'm not gonna buy the rule. I guess on those adventures you don't necessarily need to buy the rule book. Like, usually they have the rules that you need to play in them. Anyway, I just thought I'm not gonna grab these and then not use them, and then have some other person come up to the store wanting the Pathfinder adventure and not have it there. Anyways, but we were at the store, and I was going to buy something anyways because I want to support the store. So Mork Borg is what I found.
Yeah, that was the like salve for your wound.
Yes. Yep. Maybe I was feeling so angry that I was like, I need a mean RPG.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm really interested to getting into that TI adventure too. I think that's going to be cool. Another really awesome setting that I love.
Yeah. I'm excited for you. That is awesome. And I'm excited to go on that adventure with you if you'll have me.
I will, of course.
Perfect.
Yay.
Well, is there any final thoughts on Mork Borg that we want to put forward?
I don't think so. I think it's really unique, is what I would say. It's delightful.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Ironically?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to play, to just be this, like, heinous, disgusting... Like, I never roll characters that are, like, gross or you know, not charming, you know? All my characters that I want to play usually are likable... Whereas this character we rolled up seems like a lot of fun to play, and if it was in Pathfinder or D&D or Genesis or something, they probably wouldn't be likable. Right. But in this game, they're going to be likable because everyone's equally unlikable.
Yes.
Yeah. So
anyway,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, maybe we'll probably stream some content, because I don't think I would run it not on stream. It's just too good. And so that's something to watch out for, and then maybe we would revisit our thoughts on it after we played it, something like that.
Yeah. We'll do like a proper little review.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thanks for bringing us through that, Kate. Thank you for kind of showing it to us and walking us through the character creation process. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was reading through it, and I was like, we must stream and make characters, because I was just like itching to try rolling some characters, and I knew that we would be able to do it this way, like through the chat. Like, people could just toss out their numbers to me, and I would tell them what they got. So that was really fun.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Worked out well.
You know, when we post... Oh, actually, I was going to say, when we post this on YouTube, if we post this on YouTube, which we usually do, somebody watching could roll a character, but they can't, because if they roll a number that we didn't get, then they won't know.
Yeah, that's true.
So, should have been here on the stream.
Yeah, should have been here. How about, like, the first person that rolls all the numbers, we will reply with
actually,
your
you know, you can post it in the comments on the YouTube video. If you tell me what all your rolls are, I'll tell you what you got.
Yeah.
Maybe. If I see the comment.
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for participating in the chat, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for chatting.
It was awesome.
Preston, Neil was there. I don't know if he's gone. And Smeety Meats, I saw you as well. Hi, and thank you.
Yeah, so, yeah, thanks everybody. Have a great night. Let us know if you've tried Mork Borg or if you plan on trying it. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.